Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Midday Market Monitor, which is now being said as the Market Monitor and not Market Madness because we're green, baby. It's fun. There's ups, there's downs. We're still very much down from, trying to break even, but we have to have these days to cool off. So why am I an hour late? Well, I had an interview, like a podcast essentially, that was just recorded. That was initially supposed to be recorded a little bit earlier. They had some scheduling conflicts. It ended up getting brought forward a little bit, so we ended up starting the recording at 12:30. Not only that, we got more time out of the interview than we thought we would. And guys, I'm not going to give away who it was with. You guys will see it at 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Everything that I'm hearing from the company is that, because they had people sitting backstage and listening, is that so far it's a green light. They don't care to cut anything out. This was the greatest interview I've ever been a part of. Okay, I'm telling you guys this. It was unbelievably transparent. I learned so much. There was hard-hitting questions. There were revealing answers. So I can't wait for you guys to see this. This comes out today, 5 p.m. It's going to be phenomenal. Honestly, what I should do is actually premiere it, shouldn't I? Like, I can post it, but maybe I should premiere it, because then we can all sit in sort of like a little bit of a watch party together. Maybe I'll do that. Maybe I'll premiere it. 5 p.m. Eastern. 5 p.m. Eastern. You guys can guess all you want about who it is. I think you'll be surprised. Sad Tanner had the best jokes yesterday. Well, I appreciate that, but it was still very painful. It's 5 p.m. Eastern now. We have a time set. Yeah, I don't want to get anyone disappointed if, like, for example, everyone wants it to be a certain somebody and it's not, or anything like this. I mean, I'm not going to give any hints, but I think everyone's going to be very excited to see who we landed today. I did, like, going into it, I thought I was going to be way more shaky, way more nervous than I actually was. It actually went really well, and it was just a nice, candid, open conversation. So, yeah, anyway. That's pretty much it. What the heck happened with Bill.com? Up 41% seems like a massive midday spike. We got to check on this. What the heck is happening with Bill.com? This almost looks like an acquisition target or something. Bill decisively breaches post-earnings momentum. Yeah, but earnings were midday. 12:30 was earnings? That can't be right. Oh, yeah, no, it's an acquisition talk. Hellman and Friedman are in talks to buy Bill, according to people familiar with the matter, as part of a potential sale process for the payment software firm. Bloomberg reports discussions are ongoing. Other private equity buyers have also shown interest. That is why they're up. White Fiber's up 26%. Looks like Hood is going to be up roughly about 13%. CoreWeave up 18.5%, back to $88.46. What's crazy is, in the after hours, you were able to get this company for $70. $70. IREN, for example, you were able to get this company in after hours markets at $29 a share. Now it's $43. Congratulations to the people who have actually stuck to their guns and saw the earnings and said, no, I'm going to double down on my conviction. Absolutely incredible swing from IREN. But of course, this is going to lead all those NeoCloud's up higher. So Nebius was at $68 last night, and now it's at 85. The market is absolutely nuts. Now, the interesting thing is that I've been, a large proponent of Nvidia. It's my largest position. And Jensen is not changing his stance on anything. I mean, he's saying that there's 7 years of demand that they have a roadmap to. He's saying that the massive CapEx is completely appropriate. In fact, it's necessary. He's also said that, where's the exact quote? Oh, I lost it. He talked about how 6+ year old GPUs are still 100% rented, and the rental costs of those GPUs continue to climb. Like, the demand is sky high. And yet the biggest cloud company, not the IRENs, not the Nebiuses, not even the CoreWeaves or the Google Clouds or anything, Amazon, out of all of those names, down 7.5%, fell below $200 yesterday on higher than expected cloud growth, worse than expected Q1 guidance numbers. But who knows? That could even come in higher than expected. What is a dead cat bounce? A dead cat bounce is like the idea that it's absolutely falling, but maybe we end up seeing a little rally to the upside before it continues to fall. So, yeah, it's still dead, but it's just bounced off the floor. Damn, I was late. No, I was late, my friend. I'm an hour late. Okay. Did you see sound at CES? I'm buying. No, actually, I didn't, unfortunately. It was so big, and honestly, we were mainly stuck to the Nvidia booths, and I didn't explore CES nearly as much as I thought I was going into it, because you just run out of time, and then you're there to meet people and everything. So, yeah, there's just stuff like that I get caught up in. So another thing that I also wanted to talk about with Nvidia raising up so much is that there's a lot of names in the portfolio that still are either way more oversold or potentially beat up. My portfolio now, over 48% of my holdings, 48% is in Nvidia. It's getting extremely close to that 50% that I said I would not get above. And whenever I mean I won't get above, it doesn't mean that I'm saying like, oh, I'm predicting it won't. I'm saying that I will trim it if it does. Okay. So about half my portfolio is in Nvidia, but it actually is one of the more defensive stocks in my portfolio, because the real concern in software is AI. And so my concern now, as what I've been sort of seeing over the last couple of days, is that the models are only going to improve, and what's leading ServiceNow in Team and Salesforce and all of these companies lower, Shopify, another one, is not a fundamental decrease in their business, but a concern that there is into the future, right? People are trying to be forward-looking, but maybe just a little bit too forward-looking. And so I don't think, my biggest concern now is that we almost have like a 5-year, not a lost decade, but a lost 5 years of model improvements that lead to new use cases for artificial intelligence, that restarts the cycle for pessimism on SaaS, and the cycle repeats as SaaS could continue to grow. And some of the names will fall off along the way. But I just don't know how, as time goes on, the sentiment's going to change on SaaS if the models are only going to improve. I'm not saying that the market can't continue to fall and bring Nvidia down with it or something like this. Like, that can happen, but I just think, like, fundamentally, you can't have both. You can't have SaaS dropping because AI is coming up, but AI is going to be so good that What, you're not going to buy chips? Like put one and two together. There was SoFi news in terms of them releasing on their investor relations reasons for their capital raise. They essentially put out like a blog post stating that here, I'll show you the blog post, stating why they ended up doing their capital raise and how even on a per share basis, this improved tangible book value. That this was actually accretive to all shareholders, and this was not dilutive. And the people who are trying to spit the framing of that this was bad for SoFi, it's like that's clearly not what's happening. And in fact, the more dollars that they have, so you can see here, they paid off all their warehouse facilities, so that's lowering their cost of debt, which would improve their overall amount of net income. I've made many videos on what this would be the most obvious reason to use for this capital, right? They could just pay off this amount they're of debt that they're paying like 5% to. So you're immediately seeing like, yeah, they were paying 5.23%. So you pay that down, you're saving 5.23% on $2 billion. So that's immediately accretive, okay? And then you end up starting to look at what can happen as you use this money to then further into more loans, sell those loans. You actually get a better return on equity. So they are just trying to clear up some concerns around the business. And so they ended up making a blog post, which is exactly what they want. More retail participation, more coverage of SoFi and why it's potentially good investment. That's what retail wants to see. I was asking a contact at one of these big institutions about SaaS carnage. She mentioned that horizontal SaaS names are in trouble, but niche SaaS will be fine. Yeah. What does that say about even like a Microsoft or something like this? Ugh. And is niche SaaS like, what constitutes niche SaaS? Does that sort of encapsulate a Shopify, just sort of tackling the e-commerce or commerce problem? Or is that even still too broad? Cypher mining's in the $14, $15 ranges. Is that true? Cypher. Yeah, up 14.8%. Air Test Systems up 14.5%. We're seeing some of these smaller names just rally so hard. What's ETH in these sort of names doing? ETH back above 2,000. Man, can you imagine if this is just the end of the sell-off? Like, just what a roller coaster we just went through if this is the end. If it continues to sell off, I mean, hey, that freaking sucks. And that could be, that could definitely happen. And I worry that, we're just going to keep seeing those cycles. But, yeah. I'm not trying to jinx it. I love whenever people say this. This is not the end, lol Mao. I mean, no offense to this person. You have no clue. You have no clue. It's as likely to continue to fall as it is to continue to rally now. Like, this is just purely based on sentiment. I don't know either. But yeah. Are you worried about the Shiller? See, I love this. Dude, the Shiller P has been high for freaking ever. Like, I mean, like the last full year. There's been indicators going off for 18, 24 months. The Shiller PE, I do like, it is high, but big tech and the names that I'm purchasing have lower PEs than the general market. I would be more concerned about holding Costco and all of these companies that could be impacted by weaker consumers and less spending and all of this stuff. Why is it big tech like, Amazon or something like this that's selling off? You get angry, Tan. I'm hulking out. Okay. Let's see. Now y'all pissed them off. Okay. Imagine someone buying like 100 Bitcoin at 59,000. What are we at now? Are we back above 70? Oh, close. We were back above 70. We got back to exactly 71,500. Like, wow. Dean, I'm gonna have to ban you, brother. You keep spamming. Chill on the Nebula stuff. We just covered it, brother. Do I have no mods in chat? No, I do. Tanner, there's going to be a bigger dip. I think there could be a bigger dip. Let's see. Is Michelle Bakes Cakes in here? She's too busy playing Hogwarts. Okay, what do you think about the space industry in 2026? I think while the market's being a little bit shaky, it's kind of my time. Like, I want to buy companies that are just like super fundamentally strong. I don't know if it's like my place. I don't think the timeline that Elon said about putting data centers up in space is even going to be remotely true. Is anyone building this at all? Like, is there even a prototype of what this would look like in space? I haven't seen any work done on that. You know, there's just, I think there's way too many unanswered questions. We've seen like cars trying to figure out full self-driving and then not being able to do that for a decade. Yeah, like no, exactly, David. Like we're figuring out data centers on Earth. Like that's a hard problem to solve. But yeah, okay. Look at the green names though. Even in double-digit stocks here, Pagaya, which has earnings on Monday, up 10%. Abcelera up 10, Joby up 10, Amcor up 10.6, Coinbase up 10.7, Sezzle, Bitcoin, Enovix, ARM, the whole meme ETF up 11%. SoundHound up 16.5%. Now, we just need to go back a month to realize we're still down 25% on these names. You know, it's still a blip. We got to put this into perspective. Now let's see what's not working. What's crazy out of everything that's not working on my portfolio, we have the VIX, volatility index, Amazon, Affirm, Reddit. How is Reddit down? What part of those earnings? What did they say in that earnings call that could sell this name off? Those earnings were phenomenal. I want to go 143 on Reddit. Let's go ahead and see what their summary was of their earnings call. Key takeaways: Reddit is strategically diversifying itself. Here, wait, one sec. Reddit is strategically diversifying or differentiating itself as the most human place on the internet, leveraging its authentic community model to attract users seeking trust information amidst the proliferation of AI-generated content. To preserve this authenticity, the company launched verified profiles for brands and individuals in Q4 and planned bot verification and labeling. Product development is heavily focused on enhancing user experience with significant progress in new user onboarding and the integration of AI-powered Reddit answers, which saw queries surge from 1 million to 15 million. Across what time frame? A notable shift in the strategy includes phasing out logged in versus logged out users reporting in second. Oh, that could bring it down. A notable shift in strategy includes phasing out logged in versus logged out user reports in second half of 2026 emphasizing overall engagement. Yeah, but more clarity is better than not. So I'm not a fan of whenever companies change the way that they're going to report, and it actually ends up showing less information going forward. Commercially, Reddit announced a $1 billion share repurchase program reflecting confidence and durable growth and inflecting profitability. The advertising platform is advancing rapidly with its public beta launch of Reddit Max campaigns, an AI-powered solution demonstrating significant CPA reductions and conversion lifts. I mean, dynamic product ads, which are improving advertisers' return on ad spend by over 75%. I don't know, bro. Everything that I said was going to come true with Reddit did. They blew away expectations. Maybe the guidance is not as strong as what people say, but I think that they're going to raise that above and beyond again. Reddit's average price target against analysts right now is 70% higher than the stock price right now. 70%. I want to show you guys one more thing on Reddit. So people said that the earnings were going to come in bad because agencies weren't using them. And I said that earnings tend to surprise much larger on Reddit than almost every other company in the entire market. And yesterday was no different. Look at this. A revenue surprise came in at 8.7% and EPS surprised by 32%. Growing revenue at 70% and EPS by 244%. We're selling off. That's crazy. You don't even have to be a fan of the product. I'm just saying, like, there are good companies out there. Like, the value of Nebius's ClickHouse keeps going up. Did they get another raise, or is it still at 15 billion? I've not bought Reddit today. I might look to. It's in the portfolio already, so all these losses I'm feeling them. I'm seeing ChatGPT context handling become worse over time recently. Really? I don't really have an opinion on Oracle. I'm not a super fan, to be honest, of their debt strategy right now. I hope Trump keeps away from Iran this weekend. Yeah, that could be another thing that ends up dropping the market even lower. If we see some, sort of macro event. War is never encouraging for tech stocks, that's for sure. Jensen Huang just said no one uses AI better than Mark Zuckerberg and Meta. I mean, not anyone. They're probably using it the most freely. That's probably why he's excited. He's like, hey, I mean, they're spending a ton. They're the best. Okay. Don't trim Nvidia, Tanner, please. Well, I don't think I will at these prices. Above 200, I probably will. But if it gets above 50, just because everything else is selling off, I don't know if that's really what I intended. Yeah. Dude, Donald Trump is unhinged sometimes. Did you guys see what he posted on Truth Social? With the Obamas? This is unbelievable. All right. Let your winners run. Well, I agree with you. It's a lot. Okay. Now, I mean, you can't just say everything that you don't like that it's fake news. I mean, every single news article, like I'm seeing everything post about it right now. Um, yeah, like it's clearly not fake news. You should watch the full thing. I did watch the full thing. He showed everyone as different animals. I'm aware, but like I don't know. That's something that you should probably think of before you post. If you guys didn't see it, he posted like all these people as zoo animals or like essentially a Lion King like thing, but posted Michelle and Obama as um I don't know the exact gorillas or apes or something like this, as just extremely uh racist. um yeah, there's not much way to put it. It's crazy. He's blaming a staffer. Well, I mean, yeah, if it definitely could be one of the like I don't know. Um, he jokes. He jokes. Don't be a snowflake, dude. This is the president of the United States. It's representing like a large percentage of the entire population. It's not about being a snowflake. It's just like, oh, Tanner, this is disappointing of you. You called it fake news, brother. It's very much real. I don't understand how people can't have like some sort of mixed like whenever he does things that are good that people say, "Hey, that's a good thing to do." And then whenever uh what was his name? Bob Rayner or whatever, that he said that was like not that he was glad that he was dead, but essentially he just continued to make fun of him in the afterlife. Like that's not a good thing to see. Like I yeah, I don't know. I think it goes the same way of making fun of somebody who's on the left versus making fun of somebody like Charlie Kirk or something like this. Like it for real, uh, don't make fun of people who die. Um, did you buy air test systems? No, no, I have not purchased air test systems. I said, in this market, I want to purchase names that I already know. I'm looking to get shares in Robinhood, in SoFi, in Meta, if that continues to drop. Amazon right now. Amazon just became the number one company for overall revenue. You know, I think that's um, an incredible thing. As margins are improving, and then what people are picking apart. Oh, look at this. Polymarket has the second highest amount of visits under Robinhood for overall prediction market platform. Kalshi only had 10.7 million visits, while Robinhood had 40.9 million, and Polymarket had 38.4 million in January. I will be coming out with the hood prediction video. I have all those numbers ready. Is SoFi getting into poly markets? There was some commentary actually that they just recently had around prediction markets. This is not the first time that they've also said good things about prediction markets. So it does look like they potentially could be entering this space. Liz Thomas ended up having a talk with Tom Lee and everything like this, and then they ended up highlighting this was specifically SoFi. So this was not just like somebody posting about this and taking quotes out of context. SoFi ended up highlighting these quotes. Sorry. Two lines that stood out from the live recording of the important parts with Liz Thomas Strat and Tom Lee and Michael Lewis. Prediction markets are really useful, actually the closest thing to a crystal ball. It's very important for investors to have a broad understanding of the world and be curious. Why would you talk about this? This is anti the mission, but you're going to highlight this as a line that stood out? You know? Yeah, what's his name? Eric S. I don't remember his last name. Schuapper? I can't remember what it is. We could go see it. But yeah, he bought 5,000 shares, I think, of SoFi in the open markets yesterday, something like a $19.80 purchase. Phenomenal. Like, that's what you want. You want presidents that are doubling down on the business. Schopenhauer. Just saw Iran bomb today. Let's see. Okay. I don't see anything just yet, but we'll... Yeah, I don't see anything just yet. I could be wrong. Core Weaver, Nebius, if you had to pick one. I like Nebius. Yeah. Well, I'm not sure if it is fake news. I don't see it. I don't know if that means that it is fake news. Okay. Sorry, I'm getting a little distracted here. Let's take a look at the markets. China or America, if you had to pick one? Which one would I pick? I'd pick America. Which one is Canada picking? Bro, to me, there's only one world order, and America's at the top. Okay? No, yeah. What time's the interview dropping? 5 p.m. 5 p.m. Eric worried about SoFi going. So this I honestly would not even worry about. I think it's even a volume weighted average, if I'm not mistaken, is the market cap being above the S&P inclusion. So I think people are making a big deal out of that. I do not think that we're going to fall out of inclusion. Where's SoFi right now? 26.5 billion. It'll be all right. The guest has not been announced. I'm not ruling out that it could be Stone Cold Steve Austin. I mean, it would be surprising. It's Vlad from Robinhood. He's doing other podcasts too. I mean, out of all the hints I have given, I think it actually would not lend itself to be Vlad, considering I said that this was my first interview with this person, nor would it be Amit because I've interviewed him. Is it Adam 22? I don't think so. Somebody I've never interviewed before. How long's the interview? 46 minutes, something like that. Matt, I've interviewed you before. Also, Matt, are you free? You want to hop on and tell me what the heck you think about this market? I have not been able to touch base with you since the event. I'd love to hear what you think about this whole market carnage. I almost said Mark Carnage, some sort of like market carnage, Mark Carney type. Mark Carney is just how we say that the market's going down. Hey, Matt, what's your view of the Mark Carney right now? Okay, I'll send you a thing on X. Mercado Libre down 3.3%. Is this on Amazon going down? I can't believe, like, not only is Amazon red today, it's down by 6.88%. A lot of no-to guesses from you guys. A ton. No-to, no-to, no-to. That would be a hard one. Yeah. No, I mean, the guesses that I've seen the most is definitely Anthony Noto, Jensen, Chris Lapointe. Even I think a lot of people think it's going to be SoFi related, just because that's the way that my channel has done.
Good sir.
Do you know who my interview is with? Don't tell if you do know, but do you know
who Mark Carney's with? Is that
no, I'm doing did you hear that I'm doing a big interview at 5 o'clock today?
Oh, yeah. Just tell him it's me, guy. I mean, I don't know why you're beating around the bush.
Yeah.
But no, congratulations. I'm really excited for it.
Do you know who it is? Did someone tell you?
I might have heard chirpings.
Okay.
We all talk to the same people, so
we talk to similar people.
I'm really proud of you, man. I'm really excited to see it, and I'm not going to reveal who it is. It may or may not be me. I can't disclose, but excited to listen to it.
So it's already recorded and everything, so it's done. This will be the best interview I've ever been a part of.
Are you going to celebrate? You and Boss Lady should celebrate, man. You really should.
Yeah, they were extremely transparent, and the answers that they gave to hard questions were very revealing. They said like nothing was off the table. Yeah, it was awesome.
That's awesome.
I think everyone's going to enjoy it. So, first up, what the heck is happening in this market?
I wish I knew, man. I really do. I'm down a good amount of money, but at the end of the day, I don't need the money today. So, as always, taking the opportunity to pick up great names. I'm hyper concentrating like you are. Like I'm finding the companies that I would like to own for the long term. I also went down a similar path to like, is this the time to add Zeta? Is this the time to add things that are in the periphery? Like I thought about re-entering SoFi again, but like you, I was just like, you know what? I have goals for the positions that are already in my portfolio. Like Amazon's a key one that I want to get to 1,000 shares, and I was like, I'm just going to take this opportunity to get in as much of that as possible, and so that's what I took the opportunity to do is add more Amazon, Rocket Lab, Palantir, and Bitcoin yesterday. Yesterday for everything. Palantir, Rocket Lab, Bitcoin, and then today for Amazon.
Yeah. So on top of that, so I like that a lot. I'm going to try to add to Amazon whenever I get cash. You were a little bit more, if I remember correctly, prepared for this? Maybe not this, but like you had a little bit of cash, right? You were being a little bit more worried about general sentiment.
Yeah, I had a cautious feeling that, and we talked about it on the Mit's close last Friday, it's about a week ago, that, and Doug had a good perspective on it as well, that if crypto goes down, so could the market. And it's not just a sentiment of like, oh, crypto is like what's upholding the market. I think it's more the sentiment around risk on versus risk off. And so to me, I think now we've officially entered crypto winter, and I think with that enters a little bit of speculation, that maybe lack of speculation on some of these higher beta names that may or may not deliver. It's much more difficult to kind of hang your hat on some of these things. So I don't know, and I guess I just want to throw it out there, whether or not this is true or not, but my thought process is, and this is what I stated last night on my stream, is I'm gonna hyper focus if this persists for another week or two. I appreciate we're up a little bit, but I think you made a good joke. Like, we're still down 25%. I think some people's names are obviously down still significantly. I personally am gonna hyper focus on purchasing equities over anything crypto, because as you may have known, I've been talking about always being a fan of BM&R, but never entering the position because I thought it was just too expensive, just based off of where we are in the crypto cycle. And for me, knowing that we're probably in a crypto winter, it's going to persist for 12 to 18 months. I'd rather focus on getting equities because I feel like those could see a V-shaped like recovery versus a crypto, which could stay lower for longer.
You could have gotten BM&R yesterday at $16.57 in the after hours.
And I'm a little bit upset that I didn't gamble. Like you said, I wish I had a little bit more money. Apparently, people in the chat think I am made of money, but I am not. I have.
I was going to call you for a loan.
I'm not Warren Buffett, man. I'm not sitting on 100 billion. You know.
Yeah, I should call Chris Patel. He's into fixed income. Maybe I can.
True. You definitely could have. He probably would have said, 10-15%. Let's do
it. Yeah. He can underwrite me and see what he thinks. But another question I had was during the meetup. We haven't sort of talked since. How was your time there? And would you do it again?
I would absolutely do it again. I like you stated, I think on your stream either yesterday or the day before, one of the highlights was definitely meeting you in person. I think you and I get along really well. We had, like you stated, a couple hours of conversation, just shooting the shit. And who else was at the first time meeting? I never met Erwin before, so that was a treat.
Erwin was great. Have you met Amit Patel before?
Oh yeah, I met him. We went to Vegas in 2023 for Amit's birthday, Amit Kukraja's birthday, and I haven't seen him since then. We've chatted off and on a bit, but he, like you stated, he's kind of in the background. He's not really public as much for reason, but great dude, and I have to catch up with him because him and I, before he thought I was staying another day, so he was putting off a conversation he wanted to have with me until Monday, but I ended up having to leave early Monday morning, so I still have to catch up with him about what we needed to chat about. So
Robert in chat says Tanner's in love with Amit Patel. I think I am. I couldn't get over how smart he was, how some people just have very clear thoughts of how they see things, and I definitely thought that you fell into that bucket and he fell into that bucket. And I got to give a big shout out to, is it Nate Encott? I don't know.
Encott, yeah.
Another great dude. I was sitting with him for probably hours just talking about actually a lot more personal life stuff, just, running marathons and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But that's what you're doing, right? Aside from just learning about these like information, you're kind of also making friends here. Like,
no, 100%.
Yeah.
No, you definitely see the people that you like connect with on a deeper level, and it removes some of the ability to be keyboard warriors, which I know I'm famous for. And you definitely are able to kind of see who you can trust and who's a little bit, I don't want to say like people are bad. Generally speaking, like 98% of the people, 99 even, maybe even 99.5% of the people that I met at the meetup, I was like, these are great people, right? Similar interests, all trying to do better for themselves and their families.
Who are those one or two people?
there's one guy that really got on my nerves, but we don't need to get on that on air. But it was really that one guy. But other than that, everyone was absolutely phenomenal. So polite, just so thought provoking of questions.
Yeah. So just in case you guys are you guys went to the meetup, you could be that one person.
It could be you.
Yeah,
Look
it could
inward,
be you.
look
Remember
inward.
that. If you're female, you're likely to have not been that person. Those are the facts that we have.
I'll give it 100% that it was not a female.
Yeah. Well, perfect. Yeah. Anything else that you want to say on this market?
Man, I once again, I always kind of, once these sorts of opportunities come through, and who knows, maybe we go down from here still. Maybe there's people speculating this is just a dead cow bounce. And it's not tennis. Why are people questioning if it's tennis?
That's very funny.
I always realize that it would be nice to have a little bit more cash on hand. And while I am not completely out of cash, it would be just nicer to keep a little bit more. And so I think in 26 that might be a goal of mine. And luckily for me, I have actually started to think about that. So it's just one of those things where it's like you had the right thought, but you weren't able to execute it all the way. But I think one of the things that I've done for the first time, which I haven't done before, is I've always kind of stated this, is my S&P 500 position can always be kind of used as like a pseudo bank account for cash.
Definitely.
And so it's like if I don't necessarily know where I want to put it, I'll just put it in SPY and then take from that. And so today was actually the first time I've actually done that because I put an absorbent amount of money into the SPY every month. And then on the periphery of just getting paid every other week or twice a month rather, I put money into the companies that I want to build more of a position in. But I think having just regular cash would be something I want to strive a little bit more for going in. But to me, this is a true reason as to why I like to always be buying, and always be focusing on a smaller subset of companies. Because imagine if you had like 25, 30 companies right now, and you were trying to decipher which ones would be the most optimal. It's just like I'm able to keep track of my 7, 8, 9 companies that I keep a very close tab on. And I do, these are the ones I want to add to.
Yeah.
Whether or not it's the right thing, it works for me. But yeah, so far the program continued to work well, and hoping it continues to stay down for a little bit. I would love to buy more of these companies.
Can I ask you, how active are you in managing your cash position? Like, do you think that this bounce should be used to raise a little bit of cash, or the names that you already like that you're going to continue to hold?
This is something I said even before this pullback, is use this as an opportunity to really look at this is my thought that I would have if I was in a similar position, because I've gone through these ups and downs before, and what I always realize is during times of bullishness, I expand the amount of positions, the total amount of positions that I have, and just like buy really like peripheral sort of positions that I never actually plan on filling out, maybe for testing the waters or what have you. But it's times like this where I'm like, okay, no, these are actually the core. This is what I want. And so maybe this will work for people, maybe it won't. But what I will say, because it's worked for me, is I always, when times like this kind of hit the fan, I'm like, do I actually want this position? Is this something that I actually want to have in the portfolio for the next 10 years? And if the answer is no, without a good reason. Maybe it's a swing trade, etc. But most of the time, if it's no, then I'll end up trimming it. And so there was a couple of smaller periphery sort of positions that I had, like in oil and gas, and I was like, well, these aren't going to ever make the top 10. Maybe eventually, my thought process is I could potentially buy enough shares to get a board seat in some of these things, but right now it just doesn't make sense. And so I trimmed those, and I good point somebody raised in the chat. I did also buy Next Decade today as well.
Yeah. I think another thing, tell me what you think about this, that people often do during these times is that they have names that, while things are rising, they feel very confident in buying, really big tech or something like this. And the reason why I bring this up is because it's just something that I always get pressured to do, or you always feel like doing, but I'm actually going to hold off. But I've been building up a lot of Mag 7 positions lately. Let's call it maturity or something like this, or me getting older.
Yeah.
But I like Google a lot more, Meta, Amazon, even Amazon after this dip. But some people like to potentially use those positions, almost like what you said about the S&P, and selling big tech to then start to get into neo clouds rather than Amazon, or the suppliers rather than Nvidia and stuff like this. And they sort of work into smaller names that could potentially have more upside, but also greatly increase the risk.
Mm-hmm.
How do you stay managing risk while everything is selling off greatly?
Well,
Yeah,
no, the really good question. I think some people, as they get more money, they try to become more risk on. They're like, oh, I've made so much, I need to. To me, I'm not trying to be whimsical by anything, but what I am trying to do is, like you said, manage risk to a certain extent. So it's not any different than what I did with Palantir. Like when I bought Palantir, and I said this at the meetup, so shout out to people that heard me say this, but and sorry if it's a broken record. I said, you know what? What's the most amount of money I'd be willing to lose in X? And it was at the time for Palantir $65,000. So I put all my money that I could into that up to 65,000 of cost basis, right? And of course, I think I was down in the position like 20-30%. So I think even though I put 65 grand into it, I think the position was only worth like 45. And then the same thing happened, and we all know what kind of happened with that, a cost basis below $20 and having however many shares in that range. And then same thing with Rocket Lab. Rocket Lab kind of came along, and I've been buying Rocket Lab now for almost 5 years, and I think it'll be 5 years next month. And it was one of those things where it's like it started off at $1,000, and then as time kind of went on, and it was just like, you know what, like this is something I also would like to bet until it hurts, right? What number is that? And at the time it was like 130 grand, and so now I kind of use that as like a gauge, like what is the number that I'd be willing to lose, right? And right now it'd probably be like 250 grand, maybe 300 grand of total cost into it. But I hear what you're saying. I think a lot of people need to think a little bit more about that risk aspect of things, because a lot of people are investing at the surface level, looking at news headlines or something like that, and they don't truly go into what are the real risks of something like this.
Yeah.
And so they'll be like, oh, well, this could be a 15x, and this could be a 5x. So obviously, I'm going for the 15x. It's like, well,
Yes, dude, exactly.
a 5x is pretty nice in 10 years, especially if you have way less risk. And so, and that's why people always ask me like VG or Next Decade, and I think it's a really good question. And I always state that as like, well, one's actually producing revenue, and the other one isn't. So I think a lot of people need to do a little bit more dumpster diving for risk in some of the names that they're putting money into. And I did see a few people, and I want to state this because this is something I don't want to see in future meetups. A lot of people that were not joking when they said this, but they said, I just look at all you guys, Tanners, the Emits, the the Chris Patels and the Steves of the world, and I just buy what their favorite stock is. And I'm like, so you don't do any due diligence? And they're like, you guys are my due diligence. And it's like, well, that's scary.
I had a conversation with someone that said that exact same thing, and I was like, oh, bro, you shouldn't do that. He's like, I know you're going to say that I shouldn't do it, but I'm doing it anyway. And I was like, dude, please. Like,
that might have been the one guy. I don't know if you know who that one was. If a face comes to mind on that, but that might have been the one guy that I was just like, this guy. So yeah. Other than that, man, yes, I'm a big believer in understanding what you're getting your feet into and putting your money into. Because I think some people will be like, oh my God, I can't believe my Bitcoin is down 50%. It's like, you know what you're buying, right? Like, some of these things are just very interesting.
So can I show you something really quick? Can you see the screen?
Oh yeah. Sorry, I'm just working, so I didn't want to. And my hair is not combed, so
No, you don't have to turn on the camera.
No, I'm good. I just let. Oh, look at those two lovebirds.
Look at that.
I don't know what type of filter people have on their phones, but I'm looking good these days.
It's not a single photo. And you want to know something funny? I took one video of the dinner that we had. Okay, this is gonna get real close to Dennis. And then I took a photo with you. Didn't look great. Took another photo with you. Took another photo with you. And then took a photo with Tevis. And that's the entirety of all the photos that I took.
Really?
Just you, baby.
I appreciate that. Now, I mean, do you often take a lot of photos when you go to like the Robinhood events and stuff like that?
I never pull my phone out. It's going to be one of the saddest things whenever I die is the amount of well, I guess never mind. I'm live every single day, but
Market
I don't
Monitor,
actually
1 p.m.
take
every
photos.
day. You're here first.
Yeah, I think my Instagram, like the last post I did was like in 2019. Like, I'm not a photo guy. And you could see it in the photo that we all took together with Steve. I'm like creeping behind Chris.
That's a good photo though. Yeah. Funny joke. Michelle said Tanner is cut. I don't think Tanner intentionally did this, but when we got to that dinner with Steve, the first picture you took, I was like, holy shit, did you claim those across the border? Like, you are cut, my
you're
friend.
funny. You're funny. I appreciate you guys being nice, but I was like literally standing beside Erwin, and I was like, this is like, or like I was sitting across from Adam. Adam's sitting across from me. He is clearly, like, he ordered a separate meal and everything. He's clearly unbelievably jacked. And everyone's being nice to me. And I was like, guys, you're not fooling anyone. You know?
Erwin is massive. Sorry, somebody but you don't give yourself enough credit. You're looking good. I aspire to look that good, but no, Erwin is like a mammoth of a man. Very tall.
I did push-ups before those photos. I went, hold on 1 second, Matt. I got down on the ground.
One-armed push-ups.
Yeah. Specifically for the picture, so I looked a little left dominant.
Yeah.
But
I want to say I've been chiming in more and more to the Market Monitor, man. I really like what you got going on here. You are hysterical.
Thank you.
And I'm glad to see that this is creeping up to 2,000 people live. Yesterday, I think you had like 2,500 people live.
It's crazy. It's been crazy lately.
Yeah, so it's obviously for good reason, man. And soon enough, you'll be at 10K live. I guarantee it.
I honestly, like, I know I join a midstream sometimes. I can't even picture that amount of people. Like, that's like a stadium. Like, it makes no sense to me. And even going to the meetup, I'm like, you put it into perspective, like, these are 300 people. Like, if we start going to 1,000 people meetups, stuff like this, like, that was like the size of the high school that I went to. Like, that is so many people.
That's a lot, dude.
It's just hard for me to even fathom that many people.
I mean, he's pulling like 9 to 11, and yeah, sometimes on a slow day he's getting like 6, but like, let's just say 10,000 on like a good day. That's 30 times the amount of people that were at the meetup.
Yeah.
And that meetup was insane.
Yeah. So I'm extremely, extremely grateful for all the love that we've been seeing across, all the communities, but hopefully it's just based purely because our picks are good. If the picks are bad, unsubscribe. But if we, and I'm speaking specifically for myself, not Matt's like, why am I getting tied into this?
I mean, tie me in, man. We're in it together, stronger together.
Yeah, no, but like this should be, what I do like about finance is it's a little bit performance based. So hopefully it's deservingly so that people like Amit and yourself and Chris Patel and all of these guys are doing so well. It's because you guys put up the best performances. So
yeah, and actually, somebody asked me a question last night on my stream. They're like, "Who's smarter, Amit or Tanner?" And I was like, "That's not the right way to approach it." I was like, "They're both." I was like, "They're both extremely smart, and they both bring their unique perspectives to the market." And it always just goes back to something somebody told me like 10, 15 years ago of like, listen to everybody, or mostly everybody, because sometimes you don't listen to some people, and that's for good reason. But listen to, if you trust somebody, listen to them, and then interpret what they say, and then apply it to your own life. Because what might work for them might not always. And the world is always a gray area, everyone tries to make things so black and white, and in reality, we operate in the gray. And it's tough. Like Amit has his own areas of expertise, and you have yours, and so it's very difficult to kind of say who's smarter. You're both extremely wise, and both bring a lot to the market, and so glad that you guys both go live every day to share that love with the people. Hey, question for you: how's Twitch going? Hopefully people are moving over there as well.
Well, I don't really try to push people to Twitch, but at the time that I set up the Twitch was whenever YouTube was having some problems. We actually started to have some like weird days on YouTube. So I like having the safety and security that people can always, like, I'm live on multiple platforms in case there's a problem.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, there is some growth there, but honestly, I'm not even like, I don't really even mention it all that often. I don't even think there's a link in my description to go to Twitch. Like,
you know what? What's that?
Sorry, Rusty gave 5 gifted. Also, an additional $10 here, said, lunch show is great. It's really nice for us desk jockeys. Yeah.
Love that. Love that. To me, and this is how I explained it last night, is, I've been doing YouTube since like 2016, 2017, in so many different ways. And my hope is that if I'm able to build an audience that on Twitch or Kick or something like that, that's just more people I'm able to somehow help up that learning curve. And that's really what it's all about, is like, yes, of course that comes with adding value and of course potentially money, but you get paid based off of how much help you're giving out to people. And so if I'm able to find a different audience and rope them into the great community we have, like mostly, I assume it's mostly YouTube or X people, but if I'm able to find another person to bring in and rope into that community, like, it feels selfish not to try to do that. So to me, it's always like, who else can I help sort of thing. And if that means experiencing or finding a different audience on Twitch or something like that, then that's why I'm doing it, is even if it takes a little bit extra. My hope is.
Are you pumping your Amazon bags right now?
Maybe. Don't hate. But
hey, all you guys should get off YouTube and go to Twitch.
By the way, no, I'm just kidding. But yeah, I'm glad to see that you also made friends with Ray and Michelle, because they're the best.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
They're good people.
I just saw a comment from what's called Stephanie in chat, and she said that I was nicer than she expected. I think you guys think like I just like the Tantrum Tanner stuff has gotten way out of hand, that I'm just like screaming all the time.
I mean, you did use to type in caps, and it seemed like you were yelling a lot. But all right, man, I don't want to take up the rest of your show, and I really appreciate you having me on, even for 10, 15 minutes, and giving my view on the market. And as always, continue up the show. And man, I am so excited for 2 hours from now.
Yeah, which means I cannot go super late on this one, because I still need to make sure to. Well, there's no editing, which is great, but I still need to make a an intro, thumbnail, stuff like that, and actually make sure it uploads no problem. So
You're the man, dude. I appreciate you having me on.
Thanks, Matt. This was the greatest 5 minutes of my life.
No, you're making people's day every day. So keep it up.
Talk soon.
Thanks, brother. Bye.
The interview is at 5. It's actually kind of cut into, the regular routine that we have. I mean, I have been looking through some of the stories that have been going on. So, $610 billion of CapEx throughout 2026, just in the last 4 companies. So we're talking the big ones: Google, Amazon, Google, Amazon, Meta, Microsoft are expected to spend $610 billion in 2026. That's extremely important. That's a higher GDP than Sweden. So lots of spending. A lot of that is going to go into Nvidia, but the market is, potentially not believing that, or maybe trying to believe that a little bit right now. But yeah, I just apologize for the show today being sort of pushed a little bit shorter. But once I get out this interview, you guys will all understand. It's a good one. Hello from Sweden. Hello. Okay. Are you going to add some info on the thumbnail for the interview to give a hint? Oh, the title and thumbnail are going to be the exact of what it is, 100%. But it's not going to be a live stream. It's going to be a recorded video. So the second that you guys are going to see that video available to view will be at 5 o'clock. Right? So that's the only thing. France announces wait, what? Where did that comment just go? It just flew past me. France announces $30 million investment in AI to rival America. Wow, you can get 10 GB 200 NVL 72s. That's great. Good luck to them. You almost, if you keep going at this rate, you'll almost have a 1/1000th of a gigawatt data center. Not bad. Keep going, France. Almost there. You're so close. Maybe it's 30 billion. I mean, that would be a lot more sense, but that's not what the comment just said. Announcing built. Oh gosh. Claude Code Virtual Hackathon. Join the Claude Code team for a week of building. Winners will be hand selected to win $100,000 in Claude API credits. That's so funny. They could just hand out this. Well, obviously they have to pay for those credits in other ways through the, all the semiconductor companies that they're working with, but still they have a premium on that. So they're not even giving away $100,000. It's so funny. It's 30 million. That's too funny. Is the interview guest the Shift4 CEO? It definitely could be. I think it would fall under the comments that I have said previously. Never interviewed them before. Taylor Lauber. Yeah, maybe. $30 million, not billion. What are we even talking about here? I have to play Magic, but I'll watch it after. All right. eToro CEO. Yeah, I've not spoken to Yoni. I've not spoken to a lot of the people that you guys have suggested. A lot of Nodo suggestions: Chris Lapointe, Jensen, Yoni, Taylor Lauber. But let me expand the idea that it might be someone you guys know, but maybe it's not immediately those names. Who does know? Expand the mind. Okay. It's Chris, Jerome Powell, Besant. Jeez. Let's go ahead. Let's keep looking at the market here today. Semi-analysis ended up coming out with this thing, which I don't know. Some people are definitely thinking a lot about right now. Semi-analysis said, we reduced Micron's share of Nvidia Rubin HBM to 0. We currently do not see any indications of Nvidia ordering Micron HBM, and we expect Nvidia's HBM4 supply to consolidate via SK Hynix and Samsung at a 70-30 split. That's got to be pretty freaking scary. Now, there's some, not backlash, but people coming out and saying, hey, you know what? Micron's already said they're completely booked for all of 2026. So, like, we don't know what semi-analysis said, but this is not, like, although they've been a golden source for the semiconductor industry, they're not, like, they don't decide what NVIDIA is actually doing. Okay, then Micron dropped. Well, didn't Micron did drop on that news, did they not? I think that's what this was. But however, they've come back and made up for it. I call BS on that. Yeah. Okay. Oh, dude, you know what? So people have been sort of picking my brain on investing in Nebius versus CoreWeave versus IREN. There was a comment that IREN's CEO, Dan Roberts, said on the call that, bro, like I would have shorted this company. I hated this comment more than anything. He said, we're in multiple advanced negotiations, and at this point, it's not about the demand that's the constraint for us, but choosing the right partnerships. Huh? Bro, please, now's not the time. Why don't you go get as many partnerships as possible? I wonder why in CoreWeave or Nebius don't talk like that at all. You know, and then James Chanos ended up coming out and essentially said, well, what happened to the $225 million in AI ARR forecast for December's quarter and the $500 million in AI ARR forecast for March quarter that was just made 4 quarters ago? Now these have all been reduced. It's like, yeah, I mean, that is concerning. IREN, man, maybe I'm wrong. They scream nothing but they're not capacity constrained. No, that's their advantage. That's why everyone likes them. I just I don't like IREN comparatively to CoreWeave and Nebius. They just seem like way cleaner plays. No way, YouTube just made me watch 4 ads. They shouldn't. There should be no mid ads at all. There shouldn't be any mid run ads. Not while I'm live, at least. I made fast cash on the IREN ticker. Well, definitely if you bought in after hours. Like it was a lot worse than where it is now. Like up 7.5%, not bad, you know, especially after seeing what Amazon just put up. But this was at $29 yesterday. 29 now back to 42. You could have made a buttload of money if you had some cash on you. Yeah. Okay. Let's see what else. Amazon price targets lowered across the board from Wall Street. Some luring concerns about guidance, but I just and capital expenditures. But you're asking if the longest known cloud company knows how to spend in order to monetize cloud computing. I wouldn't question them. But across the board, there was lowering in price targets, which was not the same, mind you, from names like Google. Google got price increases across the board. Tanner's hostile personality. Is that what I have? A hostile personality? Tanner, did you have any concern? No, man. I like. Are there nitpicky things that I could say about Amazon's earnings? Sure, right. But then you're being really nitpicky. I think like whenever you're talking about, okay, are they going to benefit from full self-driving, humanoid robotics, a massive explosion in overall, cloud growth? Are they end up getting into their own chips with talk about Trainium 2, 3, 4, even 5? They're going to continue to increase their dominance in this space. I don't know how any of the futuristic advancements that we see remotely hurt the Amazon story. Even with the lowered price targets, you could still make good money from there. Oh yeah, they all are pretty high prices. What's the lowest one here? Is 265. We're at 207 right now. Yeah, what's that? Almost a 30% increase on the year. Okay. Amit's morning poll was, do you trust the green? And 2 out of 3 people say no. But I'm a big believer. Like, I know that might be what sentiment is. And I'm not picking one way or another. I just think that there's a lot of like hot hand fallacy stuff that can end up happening. Like once you see, names get sold off, that's just what people expect to happen because it's happened 3-4 days in a row. So people are just going, oh, you know what? It's the end of SaaS. Let's watch this burn down to $10. So I wouldn't necessarily say that this is the ultimate buying opportunity, but I'm not pessimistic on the market. Okay. At the dinner table, we all started chanting. Yeah, that was either Michelle or Danny that started that chant. It happened like 5 times. I think I just got up and went to the bathroom. You guys were being so loud in that restaurant. It was fun though. Okay. I have to go though. I got to make sure that this video is out by 5. Essentially, everything that I'm seeing from the markets, it's Friday. People, I think, are trying to swallow this, CapEx boom that we're seeing across big tech. Jensen is saying unbelievably bullish things about his company, and this remains my largest investment. So I'm going to bet on Jensen being right here and actually pushing up into higher prices as we speak. 185.47 in this meltdown. Right? Give us a little tease of who it is. I can't. I just think the community is going to be super excited. I don't think there will be a single person that's in this chat that doesn't know who this person is. It's a big one. What do you think the Clintons will say in court? Bro, what chat do you think this is? It's not Noto or Vlad. Is it Chris? Is the interview bullish? The interview felt bullish. The interview definitely felt bullish. 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Eastern. We got 1 hour and 40 minutes. I really got to run. I didn't realize that is soon. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you all so much for watching. Really do appreciate your time. But until next time, bye for now.